Hello, everybody. I hope this message finds you well. This is Rachel at Tarot Dreams with another segment of Whispers from the Universe. In the days to come, with my messages, you are going to notice a slight change to my channel. I just wanted to let you know that, some things will be ending and styles and formats change, but I will always keep you notified of what is going on. So let's go ahead and get in here. And as most of you know that have been following my channel, and for those who don't, I am an intuitive and I receive information, messages from the universe, whispers. Sometimes I hear things, I have visions, dreams, strong intuition, knowing, etc. I believe in synchronicities and signs, and that you can learn a lot and implement it into your daily life if you just listen to the whispers. So let's go ahead and unfold what has been going on. Now, I know I've been out of touch, and a lot of this information has more than likely revealed itself in the day-to-day news, but I am going to touch base on just a few of the things. I was having a lot of dreams, and well, first let me go over some keywords because some of it has not. I get a lot of things that I find are repetitious, like, let me give you an example. I kept seeing the term by social influencers using witch, okay? The word witch. And I kept noticing that, and I noticed that there was a lot of activity with older memes of the ice rinks and stuff like that. In any event, what ended up happening was that awful plane crash that took place that was coming out of Wichita, Kansas, and into Reagan, I believe, airport, that had the international or the national team, ice skating team. So I did find a correlation with that, and my prayers are with all the families that were affected and lost all the members that were on that plane. I believe there were like 60 people, hunters. There was a lot of loss, and there's still questions surrounding what actually took place with that. But I pointed that out because that is something that I see that is interjected into the consciousness of our reality. And sometimes there are signs, and it will correlate with things that I see or patterns. So, I have been picking up things with the hive mind and an infection and a virus. Those are key things that I'm picking up now, along with Big Bang time. I'm stuck on the fourth dimension and time, okay, and the Big Bang. I was focusing on the word repetitively, seeing panic. Well, everybody's in a panic now, but that was coming out before this happened. Like I said, I'm running a little bit behind, but I was seeing panic and things of that nature. Okay, now, and I'm also, and I don't understand this at all, but Sasquatch. I'm getting Sasquatch a lot and Bigfoot. Not so much as repetition in things that are read, but in my mind, it's like, it's there. It's a knowing, something to do with Sasquatch or Bigfoot. So I don't know if there's been any sightings or any news, or if there's any like psyops that's called, Bigfoot or Sasquatch or anything like that. If you have any of that information, you can drop it in the comments. I'd be interested in knowing. But the other night, well, I did have a dream about that medical jet that went down. I did see it smash an orange explosion into row houses. And I had that. Normally when I have dreams of that nature, it happens within 3 days. That was actually like the night before it happened. So it's a lot of things that have been going on. Now, the dream that I had the other night showed me it was either a religious figure or a political figure, somebody of importance, or somebody both. That could be religious and political. I'm not sure, but there was something to do with theft. There was something to do with theft, and there may be an arrest, okay? Something to do. Now, this person was, I keep saying, everything I was getting, there was religious and political overtones, but there was theft of land. I got theft of land, and I also got insinuations that there was something to do with children as well, and being taken from the parents, or the parents coming in. I really wasn't sure about that connection, but I've got that. And I thought I heard, and I'm not real 100 on this, I thought I heard dewind or wind. I'm not really sure what it was. It was very faint, but it could have something to do with, I don't know, like Mike or D-wine. I'm not really sure. So in any event, it could have anything to do with that. So I want to move on from there because I don't want to start getting into that. But I was picking up, the theft of land. Let me break free from this. Okay, so moving on. I also, let's see here. I've got something coming in around the eclipse season, which I believe begins in March. I believe it begins in March. So look out for something to do with that. And I believe I mentioned it in my February, or not my February, well, it could have been my February or my January video, because the Chris Bledsoe thing is not leaving me. And I know that they've been having a lot of, interviews with like Stephen Greer, Chris Bledsoe. The one thing that I want to reiterate about Chris Bledsoe, I did not say I did not believe that the encounter did not happen. I did not like the writing style of the book and some of the people that there were interactions with. I do believe that there was an event that took place. I just was not really into the writing style of the book and some of the reiterations that was going on. However, I am familiar with the corresponding thing where he says the lady, the signs, the Sphinx, and there will be something new that comes about. Now, he said around Easter, so that would be April 20th, 2026, and it was referenced in the book. So there was that. But it also corresponds with what the Sleeping Prophet said, which would be Edgar Cayce. And people who've gotten down and really have broken down that prophecy, and I urge you to go look all this information up yourselves, came up with a date of 320. So within a month of each other. So in 2026. And Edgar Cayce predicted this. So with that being said, they both have around a corresponding time of new knowledge being presented and new technology. And there are a lot of opinions out there of what this could be, of letting humanity, giving new technology, could have religious overtones, really shake the religious foundations, community, but in order to help humanity survive. There is a lot of information there, but what I am getting is on the timeline. I'm being stuck with the fourth dimension, which the fourth dimension represents time. And as most of you know that have followed me for a while, I'm very much a benchmark person. When I get a lot of intuition or dreams, dreams that I had back in the 90s that are being portrayed today. There are things that I dreamt back then that I have witnessed and unfold, especially with the Red Cross, with the the pandemic and all this other things that unfolded. I dreamt of a long time ago, and I dreamt that there would be certain signs. So with that being said, I'm stuck on time right now, the fourth dimension and a big bang. Now with that, when I start to kind of lean into it a little bit, I recall CERN and some of the experiments or the projects they were working on. One of them was the White Rabbit, which had to do with time. So I think something to do with the Mandela effect and manipulation, something may come up in reference to that in the near future. I actually haven't heard anything about CERN lately. I think the last thing I did hear was the some of their raunchier openings on some of their projects or things, signs. I'm not really sure they don't do it for just to pluck people's nerves, but yeah, I definitely get something to do with, I'm stuck on the time, and I do know that we are and have interacted with multiple timelines, and there have been timeline shifts, and there are interactions of, when we get into the Mandela effect, things have changed. There's something that's coming about on that front, and that's what I'm getting there. I'm getting it's almost like we're walking between realms at times. I'm getting realm workers a lot and bridge workers a lot. So I'm getting that. I just keep getting that we're going to be given a choice. Yeah, I keep getting that we're going to be given a choice. There's definitely something to do with this Big Bang that's connected with CERN and the White Rabbit time project that they're working on. And it's something there. I'm also seeing that infection again, that hive infection, and it reminds me of, I think what's bringing into mind is that square on Mars that they have been reporting on. Every time I see that, I think infection of hive mind. They split in two, and it's what caused them to die off on Mars, along with some of the environmental things. They couldn't live underground. I think they're going to find things that they did try. And, you get into a lot of the conspiracy theories with the moon as well. At one point in time, the Earth itself could not control the oceans, the waves, and all that. So there's a lot of, speculation about the moon being brought in. I know I'm rambling now. It's because I'm getting a lot of images. If you want to comment on anything to do with what your thoughts are on Mars and, the moon, I do believe that, I think it's China that is going to go to the moon, and they want to send a rover to the dark side of the moon. Now, if you remember and if you recall, back when there was the moon landing, and yes, we were on the moon, despite what a lot of conspiracy theorists, I don't even want to say conspiracy theorists, alternative theorists suggest that we weren't. It did not go exactly the way they said, a lot of the footage, because there was an agreement that was made. The only two places that made this agreement was actually the U.S. and Russia, I believe. With that being said, China's going up, and I think there's going to be things that people will see that is going to shake them once again. And I believe we're going to have a lot of things happen within the next 10 years, but within the next few years, you're definitely going to have disclosure. Contact probably won't come until 2027, 2028. They have to have the disclosure. They have to have all this evidence, and people have to kind of sit with it for a little bit. And once they sit with it and the technology starts speeding up, then you're going to have more and more. And by the time that the contact actually happens, it won't have such a devastating effect. It's going to involve a lot of belief systems and to crash. And they're going to start crashing this year, okay? They're going to start crashing this year to get ready for next year, which is the movement forward, moving ahead. So right now, what I want to do, because I don't want to start channeling. I know we're into expansion, and that is what is going on right now as we're in a year of 9. We have a lot of things ending, a lot of things reforming, a lot of new beginnings. There'll be a lot of different looks. But I went ahead and I asked Spirit to come in and give me the energy of what we are working with right now. And they gave me supernova, and I will put that as the lead pick for this video. So with that being said, this is supernova. And if you want to picture what supernova is in things blowing up and expansion. But let's reel it in a little bit. And I'm going to read the message from the book, but I want to give you the visual. Supernova, and I was just picking up on expansion. But what happens is it's a fiery, consuming, fast moving like a rocket. And then what happens when it's a short distance, and then when it reaches space, it quiets out for the chill ride, and it's ever expanding and ever moving and flowing. But let me go ahead and just say that right now I have been picking up expansion, and we are definitely in the fires now where things are just moving really fast. Things are burning up. Things are really just shaking and falling away. When a rocket takes off, that's what you've got to look at, is that quick burn. That's what we're in right now. But once we clear certain things, it's going to be a really, really peaceful journey, and it'll be expansion. All right, so let me read this to you, and you can relate it to your personal lives as well. This just doesn't mean the world stage. It's happening in your personal life as well. And yeah, she even references the rocket. This is out of let's see here. This was out of the Divine Circus Oracle, and it was put out by Alana. Let's just see Alana Fairchild. All right, so we're going to go ahead here, and I'm going to read what she states, and I'm going to close with this. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comments. And once again, if you're hearing anything about Bigfoot or Sasquatch, please drop it in the comments, because it will not leave me, and I'm not sure why. All right, so we start off with Supernova, card 8. Something in you needs to be unleashed. This is not quiet and steady growth, but more like a wild explosion of creative energy and sacred fire. The sparks your rapid growth will complete shall ignite your body, mind, and soul, inspiring you to expand even beyond what you believe is possible. Your light will shine far and wide. You can't control it, but you can trust it. A rocket is capable of traveling far with great power and speed before settling into an effortless orbit far beyond the world in which it began its journey. To launch, however, requires power. A quiet, contained power is not appropriate for the task. It has to be a raw, explosive force. It's needed to propel the rocket from the known world of Earth towards its destined orbit in space. The oracle of supernova indicates a time of rapid growth so accelerated and so powerful that it can feel like an explosion, as if you were the rocket being launched into space. It tends to be of high intensity, but a short duration. We only have this year, folks. While this is a positive thing, it can cause shock waves and disrupting patterns and create feelings of instability and even uncertainty as your world starts to change in ways you don't feel are within your personal control. You may feel like there is a powerful momentum moving you out of what your life has been towards some new and unknown destiny. As it moves from the dramatic force of the launch towards the eventual peace of an effortless orbit, the rocket will jettison the very things needed to get the journey started. This isn't about disposing of the essentials, the people and things that really mean something to your heart, but rather about letting go of old attitudes, ideals, ways of being, and attachments to allow for utter freedom to ascend. After the intensity of the birth, the effortlessness of your orbit into a new world will require a different attitude. What you needed to begin your journey, to start a new venture or lifestyle, will be different to what is required to continue on your life journey. You need to trust in what is happening at all points on your journey. Don't hold on to a support system, belief system, or a way of being out of fear. Sometimes it's just time to let it go because it's not relevant for your journey anymore. If you try to hold on, you will actually just be holding yourself back. When the time comes to let go, you'll feel it. People or situations will not be able to reach you or you them. Even if you are making an effort to try and stay connected, it just won't happen. Previous support systems and connections won't be able to support you anymore on the next steps of your journey. It's like they are training wheels that are no longer needed. They would just get in the way, so you have gratitude for what was, and with love, you let it go. The Oracle of Supernova reminds you that after the intensity of the birth, there is another birth of sorts, the settling into a new pattern of life at a higher altitude with more peace, effortlessness, and consciousness. Each phase happens naturally, and you'll feel when and how to respond to each phase in your life as you trust yourself. Now, at the end of this message, there was... why don't I go ahead and give you that? There is a healing for some of you. You may need it. To help you take the wisdom offered and to best make use of it in your life, there's a healing trick. You can play or create music that feels full of energy. You might want to clap your hands, dance, sing, bang pots or pans with the music that flows. Let it be as noisy, alive, and free as it can be. And when you feel you've had enough of that, become quiet and still and rest your eyes. Visualize and imagine, feel, or pretend that as you relax, you are one with the whole universe. You are vast and black and filled with stars. Inside, there's beautiful stars exploding into light. It is far away, and yet it creates so much light that for several moments the entire universe is filled with light. And just watch as it happens. So, the affirmation at the end is, love erupts through me in an explosive wave of sound and light. Peace is created as the way is cleared for my true and immediate success. Now, I really do believe that this message was fitting, especially with things that are happening in a rather fast and explosive stage right now, and it's just really shaking people up. But it's going to be a short duration, and once again, I'm picking up, and I said it before, if we can just get to April, and I believe it's all going to start to change and shape up once we start getting into the eclipse season, which begins in March. I think around the mid-March is when you're going to start having your lunar eclipses. So we're going to look to that. They're really going to focus on the feminine energy, I believe, and it'll be in conjunction. It's all to bring balance. That's what I get. That's what I feel. This is all happening to restore balance, that yin and yang. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this. I appreciate you all. And if you have any questions, comments, don't forget to comment below. If you want to book a reading, personal reading with me, my information is in the description box. If you want to donate to my channel, just email me and I will provide you with the link. I don't think I have that in my description box. I'll see if I can put that in. But I thank you so very much, and I appreciate you all. God bless.